So I got new sheets.
You got new sheets
from one of those startups that you see ads for on the subway, and it's like going to sleep in a fucking hotel bed. It's great. It's totally worth about $160.
After our parents grew up in a nuclear arms race, we get to grow up in a betting situation arms race, and I really like that trade.
I read an article at The Atlantic or Vox or something once about the fucking dirty war being fought by mattress startups, and I'm so fucking here for it. It was one of the most entertaining fucking reads of that summer.
Can you imagine the patent lawsuits over weaves and...
There was just this fucking dude who got paid to review mattresses or whatever, and his house was just fucking full of them, and I cannot imagine that at some point there's not just gonna be a fucking hit squad.
They're gonna find him between two of those.
Fucking Pinochet style.
They're gonna stack the mattresses and throw them off. It's gonna look like a deleted scene from Willy Wonka.
I hope you sleep well tonight, senor.
Oh man, it's gonna have some fucking Boris and Natasha ass acid. But that squirrel is not gonna get there in time.
No.
What was Rocky and Bullwinkle's like mission success rate?
Missed that piece of Americana almost entirely, so I don't know. I could tell you a whole lot about Tom and Jerry.
Because I have two vague memories. They're almost... Sometimes I wonder if they're inserted memories, like a science fiction construct, but... I have memories of watching Big O or some other weeb shit at fuck o'clock in the morning, and before or after that watching Boomerang. And Rocky and Bullwinkle made its way there. And I sort of just wondered what it was like to be a Russian American in that little epoch. Is that your official statement, Senator? You seem to try to get some of your colleagues killed, and you're telling us, Are you going to continue to try to post sweet owns on Twitter? Alright, before we get into our two fucking reviews proper, by the way, I'm going to talk about an unrelated but well-known piece of weebery. Because I am known for the manga binge at this point, and I did that for the fucking Demon Slayer thing, because I wanted to help you talk about different types of breathing. By the way, if you haven't read most of or watched a bunch of Demon Slayer, you sound like a fucking crazy person describing it.
My breath. My water breath. My beast breath.
And it's funny with that, because it's not really a zany fucking show.
No, it's very sad.
It's very sad, but I guess maybe it's just its idiosyncrasies of breath, and some of it just sounds like, oh, okay, you're in a yoga cult. That's cool. But I read the whole thing, and
I went to the yoga cult compound in Massachusetts once.
What was that like?
The food kind of sucked.
But yeah, I read this whole thing, right? And I think, if my memory serves, my reaction to the show was that it was kind of okay.
In the first 3 episodes, yes.
And to the people currently plotting my death, great comic. You can only send me like 1 letter bomb. That's as much as is justified, okay? I'm adjusting for extremism here, my enjoyment of the property. You get 1 shot. Don't fucking miss.
Demon Slayer was a grower, not a shower, certainly.
Yeah.
Since you have only read the manga and watched only the first 3 episodes of the anime, the fucking Spider Mountain arc, mwah.
I loved that whole thing.
Oh my god, you should have seen how they fucking adapted that. It was one of the most fantastic animated fights I've ever seen in a TV anime.
I'm glad they have a good action director on their hand. Which studio was that?
That was UFO Table. They do all the Fate shit.
Wow, I'm glad they got to leave the fucking asylum for a week.
They get to do something that's well written this time.
It's like when she takes the heels off your solar plexus and says you can eat food this week.
UFO Table was what fellow Attack on Titan stans wanted They wanted them to do the final season. That was one of the studios that they were saying should do the final season. I like what MAP has been doing.
Did UFO Table get to do that movie for Demon Slayer?
Yes, they did. That's
Fun fact to those of you who, I was gonna say go outside, but that joke's dead.
Outside. It was fucking.
All right,
Felt like negative 10 degrees today in New York.
let me phrase this. Those of you who read real news instead of fucking anime news, Demon Slayer was like one of the top Japanese movie earners last year. I think it may have been the top intra-country, so that's
I
cool.
believe so, yeah. I think it bowled the fuck past Your Name. Which is fascinating because people were writing about Your Name like it was a historic event.
If you could convert academic papers and blog posts to revenue, David Lynch would be sitting in fucking Jeff Bezos' chair, so...
How much material? Because I'm an anime only for Demon Slayer. How much material does Demon Slayer have? Could it be poised, because, Attack on Titan's wrapping up soon, could it be poised to more or less take Attack on Titan's place as the sort of edgy alternative to the big three?
As the sort of edgy alternative to the big three.
Like, does it have enough material?
Yeah, there's enough stuff ahead of it. I think
for any length of time.
Yeah, I think we've chopped through about a rich third or 2/5 of the chapters.
Okay.
So this stuff. The last thing that happened was the whole train shit, right?
Yes, which I have not seen yet.
Oh, okay, so
again, I'm a pleb anime only.
Train forward. I think they've gone through about 2/5 of the material.
Okay, go.
And if I got that number wrong, you can only send me one more letter bomb.
We're up to 2 now.
We're up to 2 now. It's getting kind of hairy. It's looking like Bomberman in this bitch. Okay, so we talked about a good thing first, so I'm gonna mix the order up for this episode. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about fucking X-Arm.
Another good thing.
Another great thing.
A second good thing.
There's an art in video games and film to taking reviews out of context.
Yes.
So if you are a member of the X-Arms production studio, zoom in. This is your out of context quote. No show in the last 2 years has given me more endorphins than X-Arms.
I don't... honestly...
Slap that on the front of your DVD box case.
I'm not so sure. I feel like I'd be sandbagging you by saying this, but I almost don't want to talk about X-Arms because I just want anyone listening to this to watch X-Arms. Because nothing I say will add to the experience at all. I just want you to have that experience because you deserve to have it. We had a tough year last year, and you deserve to watch X-Arms. You deserve to watch it blind. You deserve to watch it with zero expectations. Just fucking watch the goddamn thing. And if you have to, have some context going in, then fine, we'll talk about it now. But really, you should pause this episode, save the rest of it for later after you've watched fucking X-Arms, and go watch X-Arms right now, because honest to God, all you should have right now is my recommendation. Anything else is going to cheapen the experience for you.
You might have sandbagged us, but I think you've sandbagged us with the truth. Because I consider myself funny. I've got a bunch of short stories out there.
I'm not as funny as X-Arms. I will never be as funny as X-Arms.
I'm also a fucking ruthless self-promoter. I'm going to tell you to go read Own Goal in Clark's World magazine. Maybe just go to the second review, because X-Arms is going to be funnier than me talking about fucking X-Arms. I will lay some context out, though, for those of you who maybe don't trust me yet. X-Arm is an anime, and evidently it unfortunately had a manga at some point, so someone got fucked. But
it is a cyberpunk anime.
It is a cyberpunk anime in...
What can I say?
It is a cyberpunk anime.
I feel like I'm missing the point by even talking about this thing.
In the same way you might call J.K. Rowling a sex activist.
I feel like that dude talking about the internet as though it's a series of tubes.
Alright, X-Arm is a cyberpunk anime about what happens when you give people $13. Okay. Hey, I'm not using the technical term you gave me. When you give someone free money.
When you have three. When you have a budget of 3. And they're told to make an anime.
They're told to make an anime. And I've seen a lot of badly or cheaply animated stuff, so I should point out some things that are special about this case. Because when it comes to bad animation, if you're an asshole like me, I know he's dead, but I always think of Ruby first, like red, white, blue, yellow. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of like that. But they are randomly juxtaposed against these even more crudely animated 2D figures. And the only rhyme nor reason to when this fucking happens is that they have reference like 3D animation to fall back on for all the main characters.
Yeah.
But that's 2 of their money right there. So
they only had 1 left.
They only had 1 fucking left. And half of that was embezzled. And the other half went to drawing everything else. And the voice actors don't get shit, and you can hear it in their performance.
I'm so glad that this thing exists.
When we call this nominally a cyberpunk series, there isn't really a thought about the internet or robots bad driving the show in the way that you might have in a Psycho-Pass or
I cannot speak to
latter Matrix film.
I cannot speak to any of the ideas brought forward in this show. I wasn't paying enough attention to what was actually going on. I was laughing too hard.
It's so good. Now, what they mean by cyberpunk is that there is an android with massive proportions that sort of looks like a recolor of the Major from Ghost in the Shell.
It's not Major, sort of like how there's an entire genre of music that I call not Lord.
Yeah. She is someone that will never be a royal.
No.
And with their 2 money, they still do a little bit of jiggle on this one because they
just enough that you notice that they're trying to, not enough for it to work. I defy you to be turned on by any of this show's fan service. By the way,
I mean, I think we learned something from this show, that to hit the idea of fan service, even in its most cynical execution, just for it to be proper fan service, you need at least 4 money. And they did not have that in X-Arm. Anyway, she's not our main character. Our main character is a dude whose name I'm not going to look up. I have the Wikipedia page open, but it's hard to truly care. He is a high schooler who is in a tragic isekai accident and is taken to a...
Instead of isekai, he's just taken to the future. So, like...
Cool.
It's inventive, I guess. I don't know. I feel like giving this show some credit. It could use it.
It definitely could use it. And
I feel kind of like John Cena showing up to some terminal cancer kid at the hospital.
You can't see me, and me is the budget. It's so good.
Oh my god. Metal Gear Solid 2 came out in 2001, and this looks worse than that.
Now, the thing I should bring up when it comes to this...
It's 20 years old.
It's 20 fucking years old. Oh my god. Yeah. The thing I should bring up when it comes to this main dude, right?
There are children who are born. There are children who are born who are legally allowed to go out and die for America.
To die for America, drunk.
Younger than a game that looks better than this anime that came out in 2021.
I woke up both my roommates to watch this thing.
That doesn't happen very often, I have to tell you.
Yeah, No, the room is a bad comparison because there's not really an autorial spark to X-Arm. It's kind of running on autopilot.
Really. No,
it's more like if you described Ghost in the Shell and Iron Man Armored Adventures to someone, and then gave them 20 minutes to recreate it in Unity Engine.
Bro, even Iron Adventures looked better than this. And again, I feel like that was going on 10 years ago.
Yeah. Something I want to point about this main character, because there is a nominal plot, and it is dumb.
Oh, yeah, I guess
it does
so.
contribute to it, is that it has the plot of Big Order, which is the main character was involved in destroying the world in some fucking way.
I guess.
And now has... In Big Order, he just had the ability to command things, and this he can hack shit, I guess. He could go for a ride.
Here would be the fantastic twist ending that I would love, is if I went and read the manga, and the manga were really fucking cool.
You know, it's not fucking impossible.
And this was just a really fucking incompetent-ass adaptation.
Someone may have been screwed, because all I know of the manga, just looking at its online entries, is... I don't know, the cover to this has sort of a classical cyberpunk manga look to it. Someone might have just gotten dicked.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting art right there.
And they looked at that art and said, this should be Ruby. I think that X-Arm may be a psyop by the new Berserk team.
I feel like
to make their animation look good.
I remember I was thinking that it was a psyop earlier today. Or I was thinking that something was a psyop earlier today, and it might have been this.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. There's nothing we say about this show that's gonna produce any more endorphins. Anywhere close to the number of endorphins, honestly, that this show, watching this show, will produce in you, in your brain. Trust me, you need this.
I think when we were going over...
Get a 6-pack.
Fucking Zeta Gundam.
Anyone in your, mask bubble, right? Sit him down next to the guy. Anyone you live with, be it your spouse, your children, your roommates, whoever it happens to be. Sit down. Get a little drunk. Watch X-Arms. Honest to God, you need this.
We went through a whole White Claw set for that bitch.
There was a point about 5 or 6 minutes in where you decided, cool, so we need to chug the first one. And that is what we did.
Yes, we did kneel down like college students.
Like college students.
That is a bubbly-ass drink.
Yeah, no, it was way harder. It was a fucking White Claw. It was way harder to chug than I thought it was going to be.
I'm not as strong as I was in my youth.
And I drink every night, so it's not that I'm just like a pussy or anything like that. If I tried to shotgun it, that might have been easier, but I didn't want to get White Claw all over your floor.
Fair. So we got a hero Acura here, right?
Yeah.
I want you
his name is literally Acura.
Yep. I want you to try to name 3 of his attributes without using the word X-Arm.
His hair is brown. He's dead. I guess. His brain is in a jar.
In every way that matters. I know he can't shred and he can't fap. He's pretty much done.
His hair is brown. His brain is in a jar. And he's the protagonist of this anime. There. Done. Did it. Fuck you.
There's something I'd like to note. That with the sort of stilted script and stilted scenes and stilted look and 3 money... That's something that the show also goes for.
Mm-hmm.
That are just all the way out of its reaches. Sort of these puzzle fights, or at least they went for one. Because the X-Arms.
I was definitely puzzled.
The X-Arms are mighty weapons wielded by threatening people, including he looks sort of like Bato.
There's like a bunch of people who look like Bato in this.
That's true. But his shitty X-Harm gave him limited phasing that didn't work.
At least not very well. They got to recreate one or two Metal Gear Solid scenes.
And they just speed talk you through how they get rid of that problem in such a way like, I don't believe you. No, he killed them. In my head, he just killed them.
I'm actually pretty sure that this looks worse than the cutscenes from The first Metal Gear Solid from 1998.
Well, those had a sort of TLC character to them.
Yeah, there was love that went into that.
Whereas the 6 North Koreans animating this...
I do not think that there was anything even approaching love that went into the production of this show.
Like, if the person animating this show was just doing this to feed their family, I'm not convinced they love their family. All right.
In fact, that this might have been some sort of avant-garde family annihilation, a la that dude who went and got a new family for 18 years until they finally caught him. I can't remember his name.
I think that was my dad's backup plan. If memory serves. My parting bull are X-Arms. One of the more popular video essay series in another wave of YouTube was Every Frame a Painting. For X-Arms, I'm going to call it Every Frame a Punchline. It is a more reliable source of laughter than just cranking open any given Netflix special. It just hits.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, be a little drunk for it.
Yeah. 2 drink minimum at this.
Two drink minimum of that one of this one, and if you feel like, if you get current with it, because it's only a few episodes in at this point, if you get current with it, watch Cats. same level of engagement as Cats, I would say. I mean, it's distinctly anime this time, right? So it's a little bit different, but it's the same kind of. It lives on the same plane of existence.
You know, for the number of people that are going to watch Cats on drugs, it was really mean of them to linger on Judi Dench's cat face at the end of that movie.
I feel like I've mentioned this even on this show, but I remember I remembered to be polite because we were in a movie theater, so whisper screaming at the screen, "What the fuck are you talking about?" While the ass clowns in the other row, who, like, I see you, I see who you are, you're here for the exact reason we are, started fucking clapping along to one of the songs.
Great.
And afterwards, again, I see you, motherfuckers, high as kites,
Great.
as high as we were, fucking singing that same song that they were clapping along to outside the fucking theater.
Oh, that might have been a theater kid acid trip or something we were guest stars to.
It was the high point of 2020, which again, it wasn't a very high bar to clear, but that was January 2nd, 2020. And it was probably my favorite moment of the year, was watching Cats on edibles.
Yeah, I would have given it to the election call, but he didn't take the cyanide. I was thinking he would take the cyanide after.
He's a fucking narcissist. He's like, someone's gonna have to fucking kill him, or he's just gonna fucking die one day.
But he wasn't a narcissist in my dreams, Sam.
I know.
He wasn't in my dreams. Alright. So now that I have done flares and windmills and other breakdancing moves on top of this show's flaming grave, apologies to the manga artist and whatever is left of his dreams in the wake of this adaptation.
Oh god, I'm so sorry. This might just be fucking it for him. Like, can you imagine being done this fucking dirty? Can you imagine being him and having to fucking watch that and having to tweet that the adaptation of your manga is airing on fucking TV Tokyo or whatever the fuck channel?
I can only think of one route. I need you to imagine that you are a woman of talent but poor circumstances, right? Walk with me on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
And you managed to get your degree, but there aren't a lot of jobs in your field. But you've always been relatively fitness-minded. You keep it together in a sort of generically attractive way. And he's a bit annoying, but to make the bag, to pursue your dreams, you say fine, and you date, put up with, listen to all his stories about his stonks, a hedge fund bro for a while. And you let him thwack away at what he considers sex for 1 hour a week
Lordy me.
for 4 years until he finally marries you. And you put up with his family for 2 years. And you have one of his dumb kids just lock the alimony shit down. Because you need to get this bag in one stroke. There are no repeats on this. And you're about to pull the fucking trigger. And he comes home red-eyed and says, "Fucking GameStop!" I lost everything! It's all gone because of GameStop! I don't feel sorry for him, but I do feel sorry for her. And that is my commentary on the GameStop situation.
I bought some Dogecoin today. Apparently it's going to be worth $1 by the end of the year. So, like...
Weeaboo Hell is not a finance podcast. Also, Sam Legault's a fucking idiot.
Get Dogecoin, guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and sit in the other chair. Don't.
Get Dogecoin. You only have to buy, like, just put fucking $20 into it, and we'll be rich by year's end.
Here's my sense. If you're going to make your fucking investment decisions based on memes, at least pick contemporaneous memes.
Doge.
Jesus fucking Christ! Like, I don't know, if they make a redraw Inosuke coin, fine.
Oh man,
buy that shit. I don't care.
It is one of my favorite memes of the last couple of years. To be entirely honest with you.
Now, speaking of the Jump axis.
Oh, yeah.
Another Shonen Jump property has gotten an adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
And for our money, to our eyes, it has potential. Well, to my eyes, at least. I shouldn't speak for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. And this humble program's name...
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's good. I liked it a whole lot.
Is Kemono Jihen.
Kemono Jihen. This was... I don't know, just... Something I kind of checked out again with zero expectations because I heard that it was kind of a fun supernatural mystery sort of thing, and it is just for my money a really fucking solid supernatural shonen anime. Kind of everything that I sort of wish that Jujutsu Kaisen had been, and I realized just something about Jujutsu Kaisen is that Jujutsu Kaisen is a lurid James Joyce-esque love letter to a genre that I fucking hate. So there was never any really chance. But Kemono Jihen. So they had 5 money to make this.
They had 5 money to make this.
And
if the show has a weakness, what it came down for the match of the evening.
I would call that, yeah. If this show has a drawback, it's that they had 5 money, and they used it pretty wisely, but they only had 5.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting, the fact that, you're comparing it to Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm only running off the first 3 episodes here, so maybe things take a turn for the better or worse in either department.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a show where the storytelling fundamentals work.
It's got fucking atmosphere, dude.
It does. The
story... and it prioritizes atmosphere to exposition, which I think was such a fucking great call.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it'll exposit sometimes, when it needs to. But since its world building is so couched in sort of just, Japanese mythology that, most people have some awareness about, right? It doesn't really feel the need to build a giant fucking magic system or, a fight system or anything like that. It's just like, this guy's a tanuki. That lady is a kitsune.
It has character charm and it paces its story beats out well, and it has an idea of what a story in the fucking film Crit Hulk sense is, which makes all the difference in the world. And it's kind of an interesting comparison to Jujutsu Kaisen because it's the main flaw in this one isn't to the extent that action stuff happens. They have for money.
They had for money.
And I have no idea what the violence is like in its source material. For all I know, this guy is a new fucking Toriyama or some shit. But it is not really coming across.
They kind of try to edit around the fight. Like they're not going to deny that a fight is indeed happening. But they're going to try to put as much of it off screen as possible.
Yeah, they'll go through a sort of moody, character-driven thing. And then their landlord will bang at the door saying, "Hey, combat rent's due."
It's the fucking 6th!
There are 3 minutes left in the episode and nothing's blown up, kid.
I immediately liked all of the characters, by the way, too. That's rare. I'm not even saying that usually I'll dislike a character. It's that all 4 of the principal characters, and I think there's going to be a 5th one. I think the the hoodie girl is going to be the 5th principal character.
Yeah, she's got a Green Ranger kind of thing going.
Yeah. She's got a character design. She's gonna show up again. But all 4 of the main characters who have been introduced thus far, I have positive feelings towards all of them, and usually I will be pretty.
There's usually a loser in the race.
Either a loser or just people that I'll feel kind of neutral on that will just need to grow on me later. But pretty much immediately, I liked all of the main characters, especially I think his name is Shiki, the fucking spider kid who is like the square root of Bakugo and Inosuke.
Yes, he is our show's resident wielder of loud.
Loud, just extremely loud, extremely aggressive, and I include Inosuke in his pedigree because no one fucking cares.
And then there is... I mean, we haven't even talked about our lead yet. That's how much you like your Inosuke figure there.
Yeah, he's my favorite character. His name is Kabane.
Yeah, Kabane...
He's kind of neat.
Is essentially our viewpoint for entering the world of darkness.
Yeah.
Because instead of being some kind of moron or neophyte to having powers or whatever, he is just kind of a rustic.
Yeah, he's from Hokkaido, near as I can tell. I think the first episode took place in Hokkaido. That's what it seemed like to me.
Rural Japan.
Yeah, just out there. Definitely not Tokyo, where the rest of the series takes place. And he's been a half ghoul his entire life. He knows how that is.
Yeah,
but he is new to the world.
He worked in the field until his rescue by our sort of adult overseer. And boy, is that imagery more loaded over here. But
oh yeah, no, it's remarkably benign in how it's portrayed. There's never any indication whatsoever that it could be anything other than completely innocent. Boy, would that fucking rule. Just a country that didn't have to deal with the Catholic Church being present there.
That would be nice. So the other core
of course, like, if I had to pick between the two of them, I guess, like, I would probably pick the Catholic Church, because then you get, like, fucking Protestants who, just declare that I have let Jesus into my heart and thus I will go to heaven, and then they charge the capital.
It's pretty amazing. And without Protestants, you don't get Munster, which is just one of the better micro episodes of history.
Oh, that was a fantastic episode of hardcore history.
It really was. So yeah, then another one of the detective children is very amusingly useless on the spirit detective front. Basically an Instagram influencer.
Oh my god, the fuck. And also responsible for the funniest joke to date in this show, which I'm not going to spoil, but it's very good. It involves just Twitter. You'll see.
They are well tagged. Yeah, I wish the whole experience had a fourth money. And then their sort of adult overseer introduction to the world of smoke and mirrors is a Tanuki.
He's a Tanuki man whose power is gun, near as I can tell. Which Well,
Gun and being a smart guy is a great edge to have.
Gun's smart guy. He seems to have some amount of Keikaku energy, but not like aggressively so, but just a little bit.
It's a spice. It's a spice that they dole out carefully.
What I'm kind of enjoying is that they are setting up the main antagonist pretty early on, like relatively early on, given, just how shonen stuff loves, not universally, but tends to like to build up to the introduction of the main antagonist. But it seems like there's going to be a sort of and this is just kind of a guess here, but sort of a
shooting in the dark here,
but sort of a personal stakes kind of thing going on in this show.
That's a Weeaboo Hell bets,
where you've got this guy who is a Tanuki and this lady who is a Kitsune, and there's going to be an amount of there's probably going to be other problems or antagonists or whatever unrelated to her, but she's probably going to end up being like the most recurring one.
Yeah,
not quite Team Rocket, but more
Butch and Cassidy.
No, just say more I'm going through all of the various villains of various shonen shit in my head. I don't know. Did Lupin ever have any recurring bad guys?
Other than the detective?
Oh, you know what? We can sort of compare her role somewhat to Zenigata. I would not balk at making that, not assumption, making that call early on that she's probably going to end up being Zenigata-esque in her role.
Yeah, a parallel thread across other situations, and
they're trying to oppose them.
So we're going to give you some more financial advice on
Not
Weeaboo
the only
Hell,
antagonist. Yeah, what's up?
because this is a strongly paced, fun show by a studio that clearly has 4 money. But if this show does well, they'll have 8 money.
They'll have 8
so
money
you gotta buy now.
If you invest now, you will have a series with 8 money in as early as winter 2022.
Also, do not ever do anything I even vaguely tell you to do with money.
With your money. Probably don't do what I'm telling you to do either.
Do you know what I do with my paycheck when I go home? First off, it doesn't even come in as a check. I forgot that because that's how poorly I track my money.
I tend to buy a new whiskey every week.
I just turn it into nonsense. My house is just full of objects with no meaning or
that is true.
Real practical purpose beyond an immediate impulse or what I am convinced is the plan.
That is true. You've turned Beat Saber into just sort of a household activity.
Yeah. I have basically an advanced micro ghetto blaster that was supposed to be for this whole production called the Corporate Rights Amendment.
Oh, man.
That was going to be launched at a live event in the park. And then the virus news kicked off. And I printed flyers. I printed stickers. I bought a website. I designed a website. I made fake petitions and GoFundMes all for the Corporate Rights Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be about me wasting money, but now it's about the pandemic. Fucking that. But yeah, the point is that I shouldn't be trusted money because everything I put into that project is a non-entity.
Are you willing to give us the figure?
Oh, sorry, I just felt that in my heart.
Like three digits, 4 of them?
I did spend a major 3-digit number on the Corporate Rights Amendment.
Okay. Alright. So that sucks, yeah. That sucks.
That is the most I put into a single scheme since letters from the MTA.
How much was that?
That was like 200. That was like 200 printing all that shit.
Okay.
This was
more than that?
A bigger scale.
Oh, no.
I bought permits.
Oh.
I bought permits to do things in the city.
Jesus.
God, alright. Anyway, Kemono Jihen, positive early prospectus from us.
Oh yeah. I'm going to be watching this season. I'm also going to be watching X-Arms this season because it's good to laugh in times like these.
It's very important I might not miss an episode of X-Arms.
No, I do not think I plan on missing an episode of X-Arms. You guys should watch X-Arms. If you skipped our discussion of X-Arms, which you should have,
please and thank you,
then do not miss a fucking episode of X-Arms.
Anyway, this has been Weeaboo Hell.
It's Weeaboo Hell.
I'm Denard Dale.
I'm Sam Legault. Where's my money, Joe?
Where is my fucking money?